Hi, welcome back to another edition of Fountain of Youth TV, and tonight we're going to be making a special dish called Adzuki and Butternut Squash Chili. And it's kind of a twist on what you think of as a chili, but it's just got so much power to it in terms of the nutritarian lifestyle. You're going to get a lot of calcium, selenium, magnesium, protein. It's just got so many wonderful things for our body to energize us and to keep our cells regenerating, and but it's also a different kind of taste for you to think about putting all these different things together for a chili. And so hopefully you'll like it, and we're going to walk you through how to make it. But we're also going to talk about the quinoa, which you can also add to it, which is another wonderful grain. They call it the mother of grains. And what I've been doing, it's been soaking for 24 hours, and it's like little beads. This is the tricolor quinoa. It's kind of spelled like quinoa, but it's pronounced quinoa. And we've talked about it in some of our other cooking shows, but it's one of my favorite grains. And I make a large batch of it, so I use it for my dinners, I use it for my breakfast. And so it's pretty easy to make. So I've been soaking it in spring water all night long for 24 hours. And now we're going to rinse it in a basket like this. It's very fine meshed. And we rinse it, and I'll rinse it really thoroughly with the spring water that's sitting over here, and then we'll measure it out. It's for every cup of quinoa, it's 2 cups of water. So there's 3 cups in here, and that would be 6 cups of water. And it only takes like 15-20 minutes to cook and absorb the water. So it's really an easy dish. So we're going to prepare that as well, and then we'll start making the dish, and we'll be right back once we've got the quinoa cooking and show you how to make our wonderful Adzuki and butternut squash chili. So we're back, and the quinoa is now cooking. And again, just a refresher, quinoa is, they say it's a grain, but when the crop is grown, it's grown for the crop of grain, but it's really the seed that they take from the grain. So really, it's like a pseudo cereal, but you're eating like the seed from the grain itself. It's considered to be gluten-free and loaded with antioxidants, minerals, protein. It's just another superfood, so it's wonderful to incorporate into your meal. And it's starting to boil, and only takes 15 to 20 minutes to absorb all the liquid. Now let's look over here at what we're going to use to make our Adzuki bean and butternut squash chili. I already soaked these are the Adzuki beans. They're red in color, and they really are used a lot in China. And it's, again, huge protein, fiber, minerals. It's a great, it's one of the more powerful of beans, and that's why I prefer it, but it's also not as dense, and it just digests better. So this I made yesterday, soaked it overnight, then I cooked them down and rinsed them again with spring water, and they're ready to go. They will go into our chili. Then we've got butternut squash. Everything I use is organic, and we'll be cutting that down. We've got our peppers, vitamin C. This is a starchy food, but again, it's so beneficial for our bodies. We've got some beautiful red Swiss chard, great calcium, minerals. If I could find a really large onion, I would use 1 large, but because I couldn't, I'm using 2 red. I put in a lot of garlic. I'm probably going to put in at least 6 cloves of garlic. Antiviral, it's just got so many benefits to garlic. Spices, we're going to be using chili powder, and we're going to be using cumin, black pepper, turmeric, and cayenne pepper. I do like spicy foods. And for anything with tomatoes in it, I only buy things in glass because tomatoes are so acidic that you don't really want them in the aluminum cans, because the aluminum could leach into it, and there are actually research is proving that they think that has to do a lot with Alzheimer's disease, the aluminum that people are getting because of the cans and all that. So I really don't buy anything in cans anymore. Everything I buy in glass. And this is one of my favorite products for diced tomatoes, as well as some of the other things I use. Their tomato sauce, Jovial, and it's just beautiful. It's just basically organic tomatoes, no sodium. It's just, no added sugar. It's a fabulous product. So I'm going to use 2 of these jars. Spring water, I don't cook with oil. So you're going to see that after we cut these up, we're going to show you how we quickly put it together, and we'll get back to you after we're done cutting up our vegetables. You can see over here, pan over here, rocks for me, please. You can see everything's been diced up. Okay, so we've got our butternut squash, our purple onions, green and red peppers. I also always add the seeds. A lot of people just throw these out, but they have some great nutrient values. Vitamin C, there's great fiber. So I always put these also into all my dishes when I'm using peppers. This is the beautiful chard. I've taken all the tough stems off. I do add some of the top parts because I know that there's value in every part in everything that we do. So, and sometimes I actually will chew on these. They're good. I like them, but people think I'm not for that too. But everything has just the power that we're getting out of this dish. Then over here, you can see that the quinoa is all done, all nice and fluffy. Isn't that beautiful? So this is again the tricolor. It's more of a seed than a grain. And so now we're going to come over here, and we're going to first start out, because I don't use oil to cook with, because that's just a processed food, and it's just 100% fat, and we really don't need that in our diet because it's not good for our bodies. So I just use spring water to cook, start my recipes with my onions and my garlic, and so instead of using the oil, we're using spring water. So we'll get that started. And we'll come back and show you when everything's all cooking down, how we are going to add all the ingredients together, and it'll come together really quickly. Welcome back. You can see that I put the peppers, the garlic, and the onions are all nicely cooked down, fairly translucent. You can see there's still quite a bit of water and liquid in there, but all the nutrients that have cooked out of the vegetables here are in the liquid, so that helps to make the broth. I don't really go out and buy different kinds of vegetable broths or chicken broths. I just kind of make my own using my own vegetables and spring water, and that gives it its own flavor. In this recipe, it's interesting, you'll notice I never cook with salt, and everyone says, yeah, but what about sea salt, Himalayan salt? That's so much more beneficial because you've got the minerals. If you feel you want to salt things, you certainly can. However, vegetables have their own sodium in them. When I'm done cooking this, per serving, you're going to have about 120 milligrams of sodium, and I didn't even add salt to it. It's just because vegetables have sodium in them. Some have more than others, and you're getting your natural sodium level within the vegetables that you're eating. Just like calcium and all the minerals and proteins, you get so much in fruit and vegetables that people don't realize. And with your beans and the nuts and your avocados, you're getting your fats and your proteins, everything that your body really does need, and you're not getting all the toxins that age our bodies and cause the disease and the inflammation. So we've got all this taken, this is all cooked down, and now I'm going to add the spices. And there's other ways you can do this. If you don't want to sit and cut up all the vegetables, you can actually buy, like you go to Wegmans and another favorite store, and in the freezer section they've got cut up peppers and onions. You can get, if you don't want to cut up, because this is always Rox's job to cut up the squash, you can actually go and buy, if you're in a real hurry, you can actually buy organic squash. So it's just another thing you could do, but I prefer, when I can find organic butternut squash, I buy that because the flavor, to me, there's just nothing like actually cutting it and using it right then. So now this is all stirring, and just kind of stirring up a tad just to get everything all mixed in there and all those great flavors melding together. Okay. Now I'm going to add our diced tomatoes. Then, spring water. Just get any little morsel that may be possibly left in the jar, and to add a little bit more liquid to our meal. to rinse them out for the blue bin. Doing our part. A lot of times I save a lot of the glass jars, so they're great containers to store things in when you're traveling, because I like to take a lot of my own food with me. So these are great containers as well. I've got them all in different cupboards. Good glass jars. Can't have too many of them. Okay. Now I'm going to add the butternut squash. I just use the top to transfer it over one less pan, so that's what I use. So empty this in there. Stir that up. Come over here, Rex, and kind of. Oh, it smells so good. It's a very hearty meal. Very, very hearty meal. Then I'm going to add beans. Add as much as you like. I'm one that likes a lot of the beans. Probably this recipe, it would probably like 2.5 cups possibly, maybe even 3 or 4. I'm going to probably end up adding about 4 cups because the beans are just such a vital part to my diet with their protein. And when we're done in serving this, there's probably about 5 or 6 grams per serving of fat as well. Huge vitamin C. Your folate. You get some iron in it. There's just great nutrients in this. So that's going to cook down until the squash is soft, and that might take maybe a half an hour or so, but I'm going to keep it on really low, cooking very low, because I'm going to go down and exercise, and then when I'm done working out, again, the meal will be ready. And right before we serve it, I will add in the chard. We don't want to add that right now, because that only takes about 4 minutes. I really just want it to be quite fresh still. So we're going to add the Swiss chard right towards the end and toss that in, and again, great calcium and vitamins and minerals in your chard. So this is going to cook, and when we come back, we'll add our chard and show you how we end up preparing the rest of our meal. Thanks for joining us this far, and we'll be back shortly. Back at the stove, and now everything is just done so perfectly. Because I cook it on so low, just on really low for the entire time I'm working out, it makes it just so perfect where nothing's really falling apart, but it's just the squash is just perfect. And if you wanted to make it, more expedite it, and you had time to just want to quickly cook it like in a half an hour, then of course you turn it up and just keep stirring it. But because I like to slow cook everything, because I have so many things I need to accomplish when I get home from school, I just cook everything low, and then it just, all the flavors meld together. It's so good. So now I'm going to take the chard and put that in, using the trusty cover from the pan. Again, always trying to save time when having dishes. And now just kind of mix that in. And so this is going to cook down. It'll take about 4 minutes, and all the flavors will meld into the pot. From the chard and all the nutrients, and will be nicely cooked and steamed basically, and then we'll meet you back at the table, and this will give me time while it's cooking for about 4 minutes to make a tossed salad, and this will wrap up this episode of Cooking with Suze, and we'll meet you right back at the table. Back at the table, this is what the chili looks like. Isn't it beautiful? You can see that I've got it sitting on a bed of quinoa underneath. Just rounding it out, making it just such a nutrient-packed meal in a bowl. And then we've got our tossed salad. Always have a huge tossed salad. So I hope that you give this a try. You can incorporate other things into it, different kinds of beans. If you can't find the Adzuki, if you'd rather just use the canned beans, it's everyone's preference. I'm just one that likes to make things from scratch. I get such satisfaction out of making things, and just having the flavor, the robust flavor in everything. It's so good. And thank you so much for joining us here on Fountain of Youth TV. And if you want to leave us a message below, You can leave a comment or ask questions or message us on our Facebook page. And eventually we'll start posting all of our recipes with pictures, so it's easier for you to even follow those and print them out on upcoming website we're going to have. And we just appreciate that you're supporting us, and tell your friends, and we greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much, and have a great week, and we'll see you later. Bye.